Hey John, we're back. I still want to figure out some things because I used to do this. It was an add-on thing where I could get the comments to show up with one click overlaid on my video there, but it doesn't matter. And I fixed some latency issues. I was about 20 seconds behind myself. So now it's about 5 seconds. Hey Phoenix, what's up? Hello. I'm just gonna wait like a minute and yeah, we'll just hang out. So John, what are you working on? Hey Kunal, what's up, man? I was just telling people that I'm on here because I had a lesson lined up and they were a no-show. This lesson was through Copeland Coins, but so I had this time carved out and I thought, hey, I'll go live and just hang out. So Kunal is a student of mine, and you know, if he would like to say anything, that's up to him, but I offer lessons to people. That's through my website, and whether you're beginner or intermediate advanced, I'll cater to your needs and your goals. But Kunal's been with me like 6 months, 8 months, I forget. But yeah, if anyone's interested out there, I do lessons, very affordable rates, comparable to like a musical instrument if you're getting private lessons through that. So I think a lot of people charge an exorbitant amount for a magic lesson where you couldn't possibly extract enough information in 1 hour to justify the cost of it. So I have an affordable fee, but if you're interested, we can email and talk about it. So that's okay, Kunal. We can set up for any time. I know you're busy with your business, flying around the world, but and he says he loves learning from Rick. I am amazing. Thank you so much. With Kunal, we've done a variety of stuff, even some card stuff. And I know I'm a coin guy, but I love card magic. And I'm certainly not the best card magician, but I could definitely give you pointers on some things if you're just beginning. But I am definitely an intermediate to advanced card magician as well as coins. So we can do anything you want in a lesson. I have a pretty wide variety amount of knowledge, but I just love coin magic. So John says I got very discouraged. I have a coin set with shells. I can't open the shell with one hand with my fingers. So I assume you're talking about in the context of a routine, like not that it's stuck. There's a couple of things you can do, and it would depend on the routine you're doing. But so I've got 4 coins here with the shell. So for example, coins across. One of the good ones is from Larry Jennings, which is before David Roth shelled coins across. And this method is also in Bobo's for the peregrinating halves is the routine. So your shell is on the bottom and you're displaying the coins like that. And this is the beginning of the routine. You say, I've got 4 coins here. and you just lift the shell off of this coin. You're displaying the coins again like this, so that a real coin will end up in there. You lay them back down the opposite hand as you palm that coin. So that would be your first coin arrival. So that method is literally just lifting off. If you want one-handed, this method goes back to Professor Hoffman in More Magic, I think. But the coin's flat on your fingers, and you have your index on one edge to brace it, and your thumb on this edge, and you're just gonna do that. It's a little tricky. We'll look from the front, but that way you'd lift it off and have the coin over there. I mean, the easiest way is from French drop, doing it there. So having the coin gripped and then loosening your grip just enough. But I hope that helps a little bit. Let's see. Thank you, Larry. Says, I really like your magic. I'm doing well. I'm just, we're just hanging out right now. I might do more live streams. I don't know. Larry says, can I please show the roll vanish? The Rick roll vanish. I could show that. I've done a video on it. Which is basically everything I'd say about it, but it looks like this, and then you would vanish that coin. Let me get close with that. Hold on, let me change something here. Where is my... So you're here. Actually, I explain it like this. If I was standing up, I'd show him the coin, show it here, and drop it. Nope. Sorry, my air conditioning is on full blast. My fingers are kind of numb. But that's basically what it looks like. You can do a variety of things after the coin comes out. I like to put it in balance palm, because you have this really open look here. It's pretty angly, but looks great on video. Normally I would just go here, classic palm it, and then you show it's vanished. So all that's going on here is the coin's kind of balanced here on the side of the middle finger. At the end of this, you want the first finger in front. It's just covering the edge. So you can start by just playing with this action. It's almost like if you were going to throw this like a frisbee. That's the feeling there. The execution is, you're showing the coin. You kind of you can lay it flat like this, and then it just has to end up on the side of your first finger. So if you're here, straighten your first finger out and then lay the coin on it. as you're coming here. Now this action is kind of like the frisbee action, but you're tipping forward to really display the face and get light on that coin. So you're curled, extend. As you close, you curl back, or tip back, turn in. So it looks like that. So I won't close my hand, I'll just, sorry. So it's really the first finger covering all of that coin. And then when you add the closing hand in, that's it. So I know I've covered that a lot, but let's see. Whoops. The video feed froze. All right, let's see. The 9th chord. Hi, Rick, came back from vacation, missed your videos. I know it's been summertime and I'm just doing family stuff, so I love putting videos up on YouTube and helping people out, but it's not my main motivation. So sometimes I just take a break. Everyone should take a break from social media stuff. It's good for you. So I'm not one to make announcements like life updates, but yeah, I take breaks time to time, and I think more people should leave social media for periods of time and come back. It's good for your mental health. But let's see. Yep, the book Coin Magic by Richard Kaufman. It's a must-have book. John says, can you add more superheroes for your coin and spring set? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Thanks, David. John asks, does very hot environments affect your coins? If so, what do you do to compensate this? Doesn't affect the coins themselves, but obviously you'll be sweating depending on where you are. If it's a place that has air conditioning or not, if it's broken, if you're performing outside or whatever. The number one preventer of this is practice. But if you know you will be in a certain place and you know the conditions, like right now it's August and I'm in North Carolina. It's very hot and humid, and that it will affect, classic palm in particular, letting the coin slip out because it's too sweaty. I'll basically keep it simple unless I'm inside and there's air conditioning. Then I can do the nice complicated routines. But I mean, even if my hands were soaking wet, I could do like the shell coins across. There's not really any palming in there. There's finger palm. If you can't classic palm, finger palm's fine in that routine. You know, a 1 coin routine will probably work anywhere, anytime, any conditions. A 1 coin routine's a lot like the ambitious card. It can be a long routine or really short, just a couple phases. So that's always a go-to. But yeah, it's mainly practicing enough to know for each routine that you do, you could just think for a split second, oh, that's not going to work here right now. Let me do this other routine. And it's just trial and error, performing as much as you can. You're welcome, Martin. Maybe liquid clear chalk. Yep, Sean. I don't know if I'd use chalk, but there are some hand lotions and creams that I can't speak for them myself. I haven't used them, but I've heard people talk about Chamberlain's Golden Touch, like it's like a spray, like a moisturizing oil. But I'm sure I'll reach the point where I do need something like that. David asked, do I use chapstick for sticking coins on the back of my thumb, empty hand? No, I think you might be talking about balance palm, which I was just doing. It's really an easy position for the coin to rest. It's a little tricky getting it there, but after you understand it, you can kind of just do it in a flash like that. But all it is, I'm curling the coins on my middle finger in this case, and then I'm ducking my thumb underneath and then just leaving it there. It's kind of on the side of my thumb, and it's a pretty broad area. So one edge is right up to this muscle, and it's just resting there. And then if you have a hitchhiker's thumb like this, I can actually push this edge of the coin against my hand. And I've never seen anyone really talk about that grip, but it's kind of a cool grip. It's like out of Down's palm, so you're on top of your thumb and using your thumb to pin it in place. It's very angly, but from the front you could show your hands like this. You can't really turn too much, but if your hand's relaxed, you can cover a lot of that coin. This is a position I'm messing with lately. So it's balance palm, but the ability to grip it, I'm exploring like what you can do with that. So no chapstick needed, just let's see. John asks, making coins look like they have superpowers in the recoil routine. Adding superheroes. Coin looks like a coil spring. I get what you're asking, but the magic I do doesn't tend to lean towards that style of storytelling, I guess. It's not something I would do with, that the coins represent superheroes, but I mean, you could definitely go that direction. It just takes thought and I don't know. That's not the style I usually go for, with like the coins being characters, but what resources do you recommend for beginners? I'm just starting to learn and have started reading through Bobo's, but I'm not sure what the best way to practice is. That's what John Powers asked. So that's a lot of what I've tried to do on my channel. If you go back to the older videos, that there's more basic stuff, but and I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream, I have this time now because someone didn't show up for a lesson that I had. So I figured I'd go live, but I was explaining to people, I offer lessons. That's on my website, rickholcombemagic.com. Let's see here, boom. And it's very affordable. If you're a beginner or if you're advanced, we can talk about whatever you need. And so that's one option for you. If you're a beginner, I recommend video, just for a short period of time, so you understand the basics and some of the basics of timing as well. I personally learned from David Roth's videos, Expert Coin Magic Made Easy, and the Ultimate Coin Magic Collection. Those are available on Copeland Coins, probably through Vanishing. But it's good to see in the beginning stuff on video done the right way and done so it's clear and understandable, because it's tough to get the rhythm and timing from reading a written description. But in the end, I do recommend books, because that's where the most material is. If you can get into Coin Magic by Richard Kaufman, Expert Coin Magic, all of David Roth's material, The Long Goodbye from Jeff Lott, like, these are collections of like their life's work. So that's not on video. Reading through that stuff, you're gonna find cool routines that fit just your style, and honestly, routines that people aren't doing. When people think of coin magic, they think of 3-fly, or they think of coin vanishes. Like, these aren't routines, these are pieces of routines. The real routines are in the books. You gotta get into the books. So that's my recommendation for beginner stuff, but there's more to say on that, but that's a good place to start. And I'm here as well. You can reach out to me. And Martin says, I wouldn't really recommend Bobo as a beginner's book, to be honest. Yeah, like, I started with Bobo's. That was my very first coin magic book, and I trudged through it. But I made like a quantum leap in my ability once I saw David Roth on video, and stuff just clicked. Oh, that's what that's supposed to look like. And then going back to Bobo's, it is a fantastic resource. Once you have a foundation and go back through that stuff, it really is a great book. It's tough to begin with, I would agree. And then Expert Coin Magic by David Roth is more suited for beginners. I wouldn't agree with that. That is not an instructional book to begin with. It's a collection of David Roth's material. So it's not, first of all, it's not a book for teaching how to do coin magic. It teaches how to do David Roth's creations. So I wouldn't say it's suited for beginners at all. There's some easy routines in there, but you should get your foundations elsewhere, which is why he made the video series Expert Coin Magic Made Easy. That's going to teach you the fundamental stuff, the palms, vanishes, easy routines. Then you dive into his book and get all of his routines. Farron says, what are some unusual plots, premises for coin effects you've seen? There's a lot of coins across and spellbound out there. But what are the recoils and others you've seen? Yeah, so recoil, my routine, available through Copeland Coins, that began from a pursuit on Spellbound. I loved the Spellbound routine. I think transformations are probably the most powerful magic effects we can do. Changing one thing to another. Vanishes are kind of, they're powerful, but there's maybe more work to do to clean up. You can't just vanish a coin and have that be, have the person be satisfied. They're gonna quickly begin searching for that coin. But when you transform something and it's a surprise, you're almost leaving that person dumbfounded. Like, not in a mean way. I don't mean that in a mean way, but just they're almost in awe, and they're not looking for answers. They're just like, whoa. So I've always loved Spellbound for that reason, and it's kind of the simplicity of it. Working with two coins and changing their positions. But I found over the years, it didn't always land right with people. They were just kind of like, oh, that you're really good at switching two coins. And that's what it is. It also doesn't have a satisfying finale. So recoil is my exploration down this path of what started from Spellbound. I began to see like, well, what if I don't change one coin for another, but I'm changing the coin itself? So the metal is rolling up, it's stretching, and it has a good finale with the stretch there. But recently Tobias Dostal came out with part of his effect, liquefy. If you've seen his other work, he can melt a coin in like a puddle. So going back to your question, I'm interested in transformations and the physics of coins, because you're right, there's a lot of coins across, there's a lot of Spellbound, but there's not a lot of effects where I would categorize them as, the karate coin, your finger through the coin, or Sharpie through a coin, David Roth's eraser coin, recoil. All of these effects are changing the coin, the physical state of the coin. those types of things are really interesting to me. But you're right, there's a lot of innovation available in coin magic, I think. We just keep seeing new methods to vanish coins, new methods to make them go from one side to the other. Probably my favorite effect of all is wild coin. I think it's just a cool routine. It's a fun routine to do, but it's really just a transformation 3 times. But that takes some of the heat off of like the plain spellbound routine. So wild coin has a finale. It's like they all change back, and it disguises better the fact that you are just switching 2 coins, because after this the coins get dumped into a cup and then you move on to the next coin. They believe that copper coin went in the cup, but you really just did another switch. So, anyway, I tend to blab on and on, but let's see. So Martin said the first section of expert coin magic goes through a lot of basic sleights like the shuttle pass, retention, vanish. These may seem basic, but they're not easy sleights. The retention vanish is something like, that's why you see people isolating that move. Go on Instagram and look at coin magic. It's just people doing retention vanishes, because it takes so long to get that looking good. It's a simple concept to understand, but it's not a simple move to execute. Kind of like the double lift. Like, a bad double lift ruins the whole trick if you can't do the double lift. It's an easy concept, and it's foundational to do a lot of card magic, but I don't know. It's hard when you classify something as beginner. I think a better word is foundational, because if you can master this sleight, then you can start doing many routines. It's the foundation of much of coin magic, but it is not easy. It's something you want to learn in the beginning to start working on, but it takes a lot of work to get down, to get smooth. To this day, I'm still practicing my classic palm, because the classic palm is so foundational in close-up coin magic. A lot of people are just concerned with chest height coin magic, but the way I perform in real life, standing in front of people, classic palm is absolutely foundational, and it's the best concealment for that circumstance. So we can agree to disagree on that. Can I do the Z or Zukawa retention? I honestly don't. I don't really mess with it. I can't give any better tips than what people have already said out there. One of the best tips I've heard is to have a coin in finger palm as you're practicing the move, because that will help to lock these 4 fingers in place. Another tip is I'd recommend Danny Goldsmith's variation on it, which you can learn from his website on some different projects. The DG retention, I think he calls it. It's it's a much quicker position to get into, and it provides you with a little more open display after you do it. The one thing I don't like about it is that, you know, this hand's like really locked up, and just doing it, I just don't like this type of a thing. I think there's much better looking vanishes out there, techniques out there. Even just a toss vanish, it's far easier to do and looks more natural. This looks so studied. I don't know the word, you know. I don't like to highlight specific slights like that, which that does. I mean, it looks beautiful, but it's still not solving the problem of where's the coin. I urge you to try that in the real world and learn from your audience's reactions. What looks cool isn't always fooling at all in the real world. What's more fooling is something that looks natural, like how you would naturally handle a coin. That's better in the real world. For video and stuff, I mean, that stuff looks amazing. I agree. But I decide the best way to use my time, and it's not to practice a move like that. There's better ways to use your time. I hope that's not a grumpy answer. Let's see. Do I use the sliding shell? I don't have a slippery same gimmick. John Hayes, how would you produce a single coin at a time, then produce multiple coins? I have various methods for both. That kind of just that's easier to answer for a specific routine. Like if you want to perform a 3-fly effect, and then it looks like you have nothing in your hands, and then you produce those coins, and then you do 3-fly. We'll just use that as an example, I guess. I think I taught this on a video, how to make coins float in the air, a while back. So let's just say you have 3 coins you want to produce, and I would just come out like this. I'm usually standing, so my right hand's empty. I could maybe, shake someone's hand. And then this is a changeover from Gary Kurtz I use all the time. So 3 coins in left hand finger palm. You're just gonna come here. Your right thumb goes in behind here, and you're gonna grip the coins like that, all of them. This position is, in the old books, this was referred to as old thumb palm or flat thumb palm. And there was some guy named Frickle. He's referenced in modern magic as using this position a lot, but I don't know anything else about him, but that's what that is. It's an old thumb palm. So from there, just pinching down into a normal thumb palm, and then reaching with your fingers to the far edge, you can pull them into finger palm. So all that happens in the matter of a second. So your hands would be down like this. As you're speaking, you just have your hands meet. My thumb's now gripping those, And I just would do that. And as my hands are in motion, the coins are in motion, moving from the thumb palm and then down to finger palm. It's almost one continuous like rolling action there, so that as I'm speaking, I'm using my hands. This is kind of a resting position. Let me move up here. So I'm speaking, kind of come to this resting position, change over the coins. I'm speaking with my left hand now. As my right hand drops, you're rolling these into a finger palm. So now from here, you can just get something here, get something here, put them together. I'll get one more here, and then just produce 3 at once, which is, I've always liked that, because normally you see one at a time, you know, here's a coin. But a big fan of coins like that all at once is pretty cool. So all I did there is, you know, you grab over here, and then grab with your right hand one more time. Then drop your right hand to your side and just relax. So they spread like this. So your hand's hanging just at your side, and your left hand is holding something. As you come up, you just place these like this, and then swipe away like that. So it's a nice little all at once production. But yeah, have fun with that one. Positively Gaming, I'm not familiar with wild coin. Well, it's a really cool trick. So you would have, ooh, let's see, I'll do a very basic demonstration. You'd show 3 coins, and they really are 3 normal coins, silver coins. And maybe this looks better. Oh yeah. So the cool thing is, if you rub this coin, it actually changes to copper. And we'll hold on to that over there. You could do the same thing with this coin. Change it to copper. And we'll just set that there. One last time, from silver to copper, from copper to silver, and back to copper. You know what? I prefer silver. Let's use my ring here and go back to silver. When I dump this back here, it changes them all back to silver. Whoop. That's like a very stripped down handling. But David Roth took the wild card plot, which was already being developed and varied upon, and he took it over to coin magic, which was, it was a new plot. And David Roth was famous for creating these new premises, plots. He created new plots. So not the premise of a coin changing is not new, but the plot of like coins changing over and over, and then having that finale where they change back. That was a new plot for coin magic. And so Yeah, that's one of my favorite routines, and variations on the wild coin routine. What is the last coin or coin adjacent effect you have seen that seemed truly magical? Well, nothing pops in my head immediately, but I'm always fascinated by the work of Curtis Cam. I think he's the most forward-thinking. Really, he does all magic, and he has the same forward-thinking approach. But with his coin magic, I'm always impressed and amazed at his ideas. So he has a YouTube channel with Okido box stuff on it, which you should check out. He's on Instagram and Facebook. If you follow him there, he's always posting his ideas up, and that's a good place to look. Hopefully I can meet him in person someday. And then, is there a one at a time multiple coin production you like? Yeah, I won't teach this, but I do this on my, if you have my project Trilogy, which is some of my absolute favorite stuff. I do this production before one of the routines, and it starts kind of the same way. You get a little piece like that, just snap. Oh, sorry. You have to blow sometimes, and you get a coin. You can take that coin and split it into two. But they always say good things come in threes. So we'll take a piece off of there, give it a shake, and there's 1, 2, and 3. So that's a nice little one at a time production sequence I like to use. And then I never understood coin under watch. How the hell spectator don't feel a cold coin? Well, if you're handling that coin enough, the coin's gonna be the same as your body temperature. You'd be surprised what you can get away with by touching someone's wrist, and this hand's touching their shoulder, and they're trying to pay attention to what you're doing, and they're trying to pay attention to what you're saying. They will not feel a coin under their watch. You should really experiment with it. And one of the easiest ways to do it is look at the paper balls over the head routine and adapt that to coins. Not throwing the coins, but the choreography of standing next to someone, you're touching their hands and their wrists, and you're having them move. Another similar routine you can watch is coin on the shoulder. Same kind of choreography and stuff, but you can link these up together. First it's under their watch, and then it's on their shoulder, and then they don't know where to look. So just try it out. You'll see what you can get away with, and a lot of it's good timing, and of course the choreography. And then John asks, do I have jumbo coin routines? I love the reactions. I'm wondering, has anyone ever come up with a routine with coins getting bigger and bigger again? Just an idea. Yeah, I don't have jumbo coin routine. I think this is just me personally. It's just overdone. So I will use the slinky I have from Recoil. I will use that in place of like a jumbo coin production. So instead of that, like I will finish some trick and stretch the coin out like that. I know it's new for the audience to see a jumbo coin, and it does get great reactions, but I don't like to carry it. I like to be doing something different, and that's just in my own head. But if you want the best routine I can think of with a jumbo coin and changing sizes, learn Jeff Copeland's, I think he calls it micro macro, after Brother John Hammond's card routine. But it's using his Traveler wallet, so one of these, similar to these, but you need the Traveler, which is different from the Viajero. But a normal silver dollar will shrink down, then it grows back to normal size before finally growing to a jumbo coin, which comes out of this wallet. And it's a fantastic routine. I haven't seen anyone else doing that routine. It's not easy to do, but it's definitely attainable. But Jeff does it best, and I've seen him just slay people over and over and over at conventions, demoing it for his wallet. So it's well worth your study, and one of the most original and unique growing, shrinking coin routines. So check that out. Jim says, I've been learning Roth Wild Coin #1 from Kaufman's Coin Magic. Yeah, that's a great routine to work with, and you can go into other stuff before it or right after it. It's one of the best routines in my personal opinion. Jim says, do you have any thoughts on expanded shell sets versus unexpanded shell sets? I'm about to get a Dean set from Schoolcraft, but don't have any experience with unexpanded $50, if that matters. So, as far as functionality, there's no advantage at all. I'd say the one single advantage is the distortion of the gaff. So I have an unexpanded shell set. So maybe you can see the difference here. So this is an expanded shell set, and this is the shell. You can tell if you've handled enough gaff coins, you can tell, like this one just looks different. And it's hard to tell, but you can see that it just feels bigger, just slightly, but in your hand it's really hard to tell when they're spread like that, like in the beginning of a routine and you're displaying these coins. And then this set is unexpanded, so the shell has zero distortion. On the expanded, you'll never be able to hear this, but the face of this coin, it kind of pops. It's actually bowed ever so slightly. When it's on the coin, I can't do that. But when it's just loose, it's kind of like popping like this. So the unexpanded shell, it's sturdier. There's no distortion. I don't know if I can pick that up. You can kind of see that on the expanded shell, how the light, you can see the light doing that because it's a little bit distorted. But on this one, it's a normal coin that has been hollowed out. By the way, this material in here is called Kapton from Jeff Copeland, and it's a material NASA uses. So if you want an alternative to Teflon, you should check that out. But that's what I use inside my coins there. So functionally, there's no difference. Like these coins are slightly reduced, but on a Morgan dollar, it's got this nice thick rim. You'd only be able to tell if you had two of them side by side. But if you're working with this unexpanded shell set, no one will ever know. So the whole point, you know, with the unexpanded or expanded, in the old days, like if you read Modern Coin Magic, you'd be able to borrow $50 to do an effect. So having an expanded shell meant that you could have your coin with a shell on it, be palming that, and then borrow 3 other coins. And then your shell would fit on all the coins. So that was the major advantage. It's actually harder to make an expanded shell with the machinery involved. An unexpanded set, all you have to do is hollow out a normal coin and then reduce the diameter of the other coins. And you can do that with a lathe. The expanded shell set, there's different methods, but basically a coin has to be crushed by micrometers. So the coin's actually expanded in size, and then it's hollowed out, and then it's, you know, different people have different methods, but it actually takes more work than the unexpanded shell set. But to answer your question, it's whatever feels comfortable to you. Jamie Schoolcraft's work is absolutely excellent. I think he's the best gaffer out there right now. But it's you're paying for that, and you're paying for the customization. Not everyone will do really custom work, so just know that ahead of time. You're going to wait for it, and you're going to pay for it, but it's so worth it. This set is from an underground guy that only few people know about. So if you meet me in person, I'll let you know. But Tom asks, what is my opinion on coin flurry sequences? How I can find them really frustrating to watch. It can feel like the magician is showing off and feel like a sucker trick. I agree. I think a one coin flurry, another invention from David Roth, not invention, but he took from Slidini, who originally had one coin routines seated at the table and involved, you know, a lot of lapping. David Roth took that to stand up, having the coin vanish and appear, vanish and appear. And then he would end with a jumbo coin. I think it's probably the best thing you can open with. David Roth would also close with a 1 coin routine, which is an interesting idea. It makes sense in a lot of ways. There's an article, if you want to find it, on Jamie Ian Swiss's website. And he talks about David Roth, and he even talks about a set that David Roth would do, taking 5 coins, 1 coin being hidden, but he would do coins through the table, then he would do winged silver, then he would do chink-a-chink, then hanging coins, and then finally a 1 coin routine where the jumbo coin would be a finale. And you mentioned it being frustrating and like the magician is showing off, and you can fix that. Just don't be that guy. Make it about the coin. Is the coin invisible? Does the coin have powers? Did you get the coin from somewhere and it's doing this stuff that you don't understand? It's all about changing the premise, or the plot, I mean. The premise is the coin vanishing and reappearing. What's the plot? So give it a plot. When there's no plot, it is a guy showing off. It's now an exhibition, and we're all watching you, doing your stuff, because you've given us no plot, no story to get involved with. So it definitely can get frustrating and showing off, but it can very easily be the best thing to open with or even close with. So does coin magic play in long act, or is it just like a packet trick take out? I'm not seeing anyone doing coin act nowadays, in your opinion. I know what you mean, and that's one of the tough things I tried to overcome early on. Getting into coin magic, you'll read a trick here, you'll read a trick there, and you don't know how to link them together or get from one thing to the next thing. So it does feel like a series of packet tricks. Like, oh, let me show you this coin trick. It's got a copper, a silver, and a brass coin. You do that and you put it away because you can't do anything else with it. It's a gimmicked coin set. That's probably the first place to start. Don't get too many gimmicked coins. Otherwise, your coin magic will look like packet tricks. Learn coin magic with normal coins, and you'll see where the segues are to get from one trick to the next. I have a good friend in Los Angeles, Tyler Rabbit. He's got some full coin acts at the Magic Castle he's put on YouTube, and he's funny, he's engaging, his coin magic's different, and it works. Go look at that video. And I mean, I keep talking about David Roth, but David Roth would do full coin acts. Nowadays, you're right, you don't really see entire coin acts, and I think that's just, it's just my opinion, but you also hear it from a lot of people. Coin magic it's hard. A lot of people don't get into it, and it's not, I would say it's only hard in the beginning, but that keeps a lot of people away from it. If you can stick with coin magic and really get into it, you'll be able to do many routines. Therefore, you'll be able to put together an act. That's something I would like to do in the future, I think. Just for the sake of it, getting to the magic castle and doing a full coin act. One day I will do that. And then Martin asks, have you found any classic shell coins across that is better than David Roth's? I love coin 1, but honestly the David Roth version is just so readable for the audience. I agree. I mentioned it earlier, but Larry Jennings, in the classic magic of Larry Jennings, there's a really good handling, and he calls it the peripatetic coins, something like that. But in all honesty, it's very similar to the version in modern coin magic called the peregrinating halves. And that version is this has happened in recent years. I don't know, maybe for the last 5 years. I never liked in Roth's version, it's very open, you know, the coins are here. I never liked the move to unnest the shell. So you're explaining that the coins will start here, jump across, and end up in the other hand. And you do this move. I never liked it. It works fine. But in the routine in modern coin magic, it's a little more handling, but I don't think anyone cares. It's still very clean and open. You're showing there's 4 coins, there's nothing else in your hands, and you pick the coins up like that, and you're in the same position. So the first coin comes across, and you have to do it again, but I think it's well covered with the motivation of just showing, this is all I have. Look, this is all I have. So now I've passed the coins over again, and I'm just picking them up to show you. I'm just showing you there's 3 coins. But that's how you're getting ahead. And you're not having to do this unnest move over here. And then of course, doing the ending, which it first appears in Milton Court's version of the coins through the table. So the finale of that trick is where you place the coins in the spectator's hands and you take the shell. So you do the peregrinating halves, but then finish the routine with the last phase of the coins through the table. And there you have like basically Roth's version, but I think a little bit easier to do. Check that out. And then John Powers asks, should I use a $50 or dollar for practicing when needed? It's whatever you're most comfortable with. That's the best coin to use. I don't really get into the argument of, you know, dollars being more visual or not. A $50 is a huge coin for anyone nowadays, like, because we're barely using pocket change anymore. So for someone to see a $50, it's like shockingly huge. And again, if I was comparing the shells, if an audience is not seeing a dollar next to a $50, there's no point of reference there for one being larger and more visual. So in all honesty, I use $50 most of the time in my everyday carry. I just carry 4 coins in a shell, a copper silver coin and a matching copper coin. But I'm using $half because I mentioned before, my style is truly close up. So 1 to 2 feet, multiple people around. Dollars are great, but you're gonna find yourself stepping way back. And if you want to do this stuff at chest height, in Down's palm and stuff, it's not gonna work. It's gonna, you can step back, but what the magic I really like is true close-up. I'm putting stuff in their hands. Stuff is happening, you know, right here, not back here. It's, I will throw that stuff in when I can, but the majority of the time I'm using $half, I'm using classic palm, and I'm right up close with people. I think that's the most powerful magic. So to answer your question, it's what you're most comfortable with, that's going to be the best magic you perform. You won't be good if you're uncomfortable or if you're worried. Am I flashing? Or am I going to drop this? So, and that might mean $half. Martin says an expanded quarter shell would probably be kind of cool and useful to use. Yeah. Although it's getting more challenging to find people that even have some quarters on them. John asks, what devices do you like to help with coin magic, like coin purses, etc.? I love the Okido box. If we're talking about, you know, different accessories. And a coin purse can do a lot of what an Okido box can do. But I think an Okido box can do even more. And it's an interesting object. A lot of people are worried to use one because it is an odd object. But I think you get a lot of mileage by leaning into that. It's like, this is an interesting object. People like that in magic, believe it or not. A lot of people try to get rid of items. Like, why are you using 100-year-old coins, but you're not going to use an Okido box? It's like, these aren't weird enough. So I love coin box magic, and that's my favorite accessory. And then John asks again, a pause in coin routine is important. What's your magic number of how long to pause? And I don't know. It's a feeling. It's practice. I don't have a formula for that. Hey, Mika Letty's here. Mile Magic. I was disappointed when I got my unexpanded $half shell set. The coins were so small because they need to mill them down so they fit the shell. For dollar size, it's okay. That's a great point. I saw a set from this same gentleman that made this. Another guy had a $half set made in Barbers, and it was beautiful. The coverage was beautiful, but I thought to myself, man, those don't look right. The coins, the insert coin, it was just, the rim didn't look right. It was noticeably just too small. And I wouldn't, for most coin magic, I wouldn't use a coin smaller than a $half. So when you take a $half and reduce its size, even just fractionally, it can become more difficult to handle things. A $50 is a good size for manipulation. But when you start to get smaller than that, you know, things aren't moving when you want or where you want and stuff like that. And worst of all, someone could look at it and tell it looks weird. Like if it's so small that they start to cut into the words there, stay away from that. Salamelino. What would you recommend more? The pup purse or quiver purse? So they work differently. I don't own a quiver purse, but it's basically the same functionality as the old change bags. Most of the routines I've seen with the quiver wallet, they don't use it to the best advantage, I think. The effects like point to the wallet as being the cause, I think. Like when you put some change in and then it turns to a paper bill. In my mind, that's not good enough to convince the audience there was a transformation. They're going to want to see that purse. But there's other routines that use that very well. The pup purse, particularly unusual purse from David Regal, I love the look of that more. I've used the quiver, and it can be sometimes finicky with that squeeze opening, and again, these work differently. The pup is for something you want to switch in for the beginning. It's basically, this one has an external pocket while the quiver has an internal pocket that you can open or close. So with the pup, you're going to switch something before the routine. You pour coins out of it, it's clearly empty, and then you do a switch for something that was in the external pocket. But I also like the look of it better, even just as a normal purse. I don't know, they do different things. So have I had any contact with some of the French gaff makers? We have some really high quality coin gaffers over here, such as Magic Coins or Vec. I've followed I don't know how you pronounce his name, Thierry, Magic Coins, and Xavier Belmont. I've just never, years ago, Todd Lassen was still alive, and there's Jamie Schoolcraft. I had no need to go to France, but I've seen their work. It's beautiful work. And now I have probably too many gaffs, and I don't know that I would purchase any more at this point. I should probably sell some, but Mika says true, and it looks weird when over 100-year-old coin has crisped remilled edge. Yep. That's true. The ones I have, that he did a really good job. Some of the patina is there in between the reeded edges there, but from the side it looks super crisp, and I'm not sure it gets noticed because it's not shiny, but they feel really good. But that can be another flaw when they reduce the size. The edge of that coin is, bright, fresh silver, and it does look weird on an old coin. I really like Okido box, especially routine, but I found that if in a mini show about 20-30 people, some of them in back can't see what happened with the coin. I wouldn't do the Okido box in that situation, or I'd have someone come up, stand next to me, and they hold the box, and this would depend on the box you have, but a lot of them can accommodate a shell, an expanded shell, and you could replicate in a way Kaino Harbottle's routine, Victorian coins in glass, with the Okido box. So you have a guy on this side and maybe another one over here. You're showing 4 coins going into the box. They shut the lid. You do the whole routine there, and that can play much bigger because it's a stand-up routine. And now the box is more of a container. It's not the core of the routine there, but that's one idea. Anthony says, "Hi Rick, I have both silver halves and dollar sets, but I'm too afraid to use them out of fear of dropping and denting them. Thus, I usually carry around clad halves. Have you ever dealt with this?" Yep. Just, it will happen. I've dented silver shells. Sometimes you can't avoid the floor where you're performing. That'd be the first thing to do. I'm not going to do that trick here. And if you're being paid to perform, you need to know the venue. You need to know, maybe it's a wedding, maybe it's a birthday. Like, is there going to be carpet or a hardwood floor or tile floor? So if you're being paid to perform, you're going to have a variety of material. It's not going to be all coins. So, and you need to be flexible. So when you get to the venue, maybe you find out you can't perform over in that section where there's carpet. You're only going to be over here. So you have to just pivot and say, I'm not going to do that one coin trick that has the shell. But I could do other coin tricks, but I don't want to risk that shell being dropped. The other thing is just do it. Just most of the fear is just, it's in your head. And if you allow yourself to be afraid, that you're more likely to drop it. So sometimes it's just like going for it and doing it. Like David Roth's routine, there's very minimal risk. It happens in your open hand, which is a big surface. There's nothing happening up here where the shell might slip out of your fingertips. That routine happens all flat on your hands. So that's one routine I wouldn't be worried about even on concrete. So just being flexible, being able to pivot, having a variety of stuff to do. Thimbles and coin tricks seem similar. Have I ever learned thimble tricks to adapt to coin tricks? I've just never had interest in thimbles. I think if they're similar, then coins are just better. It's a more recognizable object. So by saying that they're similar objects, to me, I wouldn't bother with a thimble. There are some advantages to the way you can palm it and the way your hand looks. But I mean, coins are just better and more versatile. You can do more routines with them. So I've never had interest in thimbles there. Spike asks, do I have any Craig Austerling boxes? Yes, I do. I only have his quarter box, but I think he's still working on getting his setup done. I know he has some things available on his website, primalgimcrack.com. I recently acquired a Todd Lassen box, which is really nice. So this is one of Todd's boxes from long ago. Before he was etching like Chinese characters on the lid. So this is from before that. And I can't show you a real close-up, but it's got the Lassen in there. This is actually copper, but it looks brass. And it's just heavy and nice to hold. Fits a shell. Oh, it does not fit a shell. That's okay. That's another reason an unexpanded shell set is good. You could use it in Okido box routines that don't fit the shell. But at this point, if I bought a $1 box from Craig, it would be a splurge, like a luxury item, because I don't need it, but I want it. He has, if you can afford the boxes, he has the best boxes. Other than that, I would get the Copeland coin box for the slightly more affordable. There's some other functionalities that I and my friend Rooster, we helped get put together for that box. And I love the Copeland box. So if you're in the market, you might start there, unless you're dead set on getting Craig's box, which is like the Ferrari of boxes. But they honestly all have slightly different advantages, disadvantages. But Craig's boxes are nice to hold and use for sure. David asks, what's the name of the guy with the Okido box routines again? You might be asking about Rooster Robertson. I'm not sure who you're asking about. David Roth has routines. Mohammed Bey, Curtis Cam, Ryan Bliss, Joe Cole. There's tons of guys doing Okido box stuff. Rob Fisher. Have you had to or do you practice closing any windows in your fingers? I have a bad habit when finger palming a dollar coin, my index and middle fingers separating. Well, now that I'm in my 40s, I'm kind of it's hard to keep weight off, and that has helped my windows. I still have a window, you know, between my first and second finger, but as long as you're conscientious of keeping your hand like this, you don't have to focus on squeezing your fingers, just tilting. So if you're in finger palm, avoid going back and forth and try to stick on one plane. So not vertical, but just tilt it and stay on this plane as you move about. And it's not so much about, you know, trying to close it. It's just about blocking their view of it. Your other option is $50. I was just talking about, I mostly use $50 when I'm just, you know, going around every day. These are some barbers. I know I'm not going to flash a $50. I'm just not. And that again is another reason I carry them every day, is just I have that confidence that if I was using dollars, in the back of my head I'd be thinking, you know, am I flashing that? Because people will be polite to you. They won't always point out. You'll have those hecklers that love to point out, you know, when you mess up, but usually people are polite, and when you mess up, they're not saying anything. You can almost feel their eyes, like they saw something, they saw a flash. So using $50, that is gone. Like, I know I'm not going to flash that coin. So you might consider just changing it up. Try $50. And then Scooter says, how do I learn coin magic? Man, just watch my channel, Rick Holcombe. Yeah, Todd Lassen passed away. I think it was in 2020, 2019, but it was a heart attack. It wasn't COVID. Do I have variations on the last vanish for silver suspension? So silver suspension is one of my routines from a project I did called Trilogy, where coins are being suspended in the beam of light from a cell phone. So an alternate vanish, so you've got your phone here. I'll use dollars. Let's get close. So I'm not going to teach that routine, but by the time you have the last coin, you're in a certain position here. You know what? I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get it. There's stuff I won't touch. And that's one of my favorite routines on one of my favorite projects. I don't want to tip like so much stuff, but if someone's interested in purchasing something from the website, rickholcombemagic.com, that's Trilogy is one of my most favorite collection of routines there. And that routine in particular is I was talking about Spellbound earlier, and where I eventually came up with Recoil. This is a hanging coins routine. And I went down the path of hanging coins and studying Kaino Harbottle, Curtis Cam, Gary Kurtz, David Roth, and I finally, I have, I don't know how many variations of hanging coins, but this is one of them. And it's probably my favorite because it has a finale. It has a good plot. I think it's just okay, you're hanging coins in the air. And it can look very clean, but you're kind of... It's not that it's dumb, but it's like you're asking the audience to kind of make believe here, but it's something about just having the phone there with the beam of light. It makes it a little more fun, more believable maybe. So the coins are hanging in the light. And that idea came from Curtis Cam. He used a flashlight. But it actually goes way back to Robert Houdin, even T. Nelson Downs. They would use a candle. Coins vanishing into the flame. So it's cool how ideas can span hundreds of years until I'm using the light on my cell phone. So to answer your question, I would get the first two coins into a different position so that you could do a different vanish on the third coin. If you know what I mean, just kind of a more classic sequence that you would do with hanging coins. And you could still do the reproduction of the coins, but I don't want to get too deep into that routine. Let's see. Nico, I wonder why no one is doing a 3cm or 3cf coin routine. These coin gimmicks are not common to use, but for most coins. Yeah. If you look at Troy Hoosier, just like a fantastic coin magician, he has worked with the 3cm or triple threat gimmick, and not the 3cf, but he has work on the OXF, what became the OXF. Ryan Bliss has some unbelievable stuff with some of those combos there. It's just a matter of looking around, and a lot of stuff's maybe in books. Spike has the whole set of Craig's boxes, full set of Copeland. Yep. It's fun to hold heavy metal. John Hayes, is there a jewelry to gold color coin trick? I think it'd be cool. Gold color coins, like transforming coins to jewelry. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. There was something like that in my memory. I can't think of it, but so Zero asks, what even is 3cm or 3cf? 3cm is Jamie Schoolcraft's variation on a double shell gimmick. So Todd Lassen sold it as a triple threat. So you have a coin that's been reduced in diameter, then an unexpanded shell, then an expanded shell. And then Jamie Schoolcraft put magnets in here. They're very weak, but they're strong enough to hold it all together. You could flip this coin, it would stay together. And the magnets are gentle enough that you could tip out, you know, one layer at a time. So it stands for 3 coin magnetic. Then the 3CF is the same setup, but then this bottom coin has a flipper in it. So it's a flipper coin. Yeah, that's right. Because the OXF is an expanded shell on a flipper coin. The 3CF is 3 coin flipper. So you could actually show a 4th coin. And then they could all nest up to 1 coin. So, insanity. But fun for different stuff. Like, there's many ideas with the cylinder and coins using double shells. Where am I at? I can't mix these up, man. So doing the cylinder and coins with like a double shell gimmick, you're almost 3 coins away, 3 coins ahead, because 2 vanish, you know, automatically. Then you just have to hide 1 coin. So there's just the 4th coin left to vanish. There's some routines with the cylinder and coins. But yeah, so that's a explanation of those gaffs. Yeah, I did do a live stream on gaffs. That was long ago. I forget what I covered. Yet Corey Harris said Mark Tams has a book on the triple threat. I don't know where you could find that anymore, if you could find it. Someone asked, how can I improve my classic palm? I've tried the just carry it around all day, it'll work technique without luck. Yeah, it's hard to, like I mentioned earlier on, I'm still working on my classic palm. That's one of the foundational things. And I would do things like working with a big coin that you're uncomfortable with. So if you're uncomfortable with dollars, then carry around the dollar coin. Work on your classic palm. If you're using dollars already, try using a silver eagle, which is about 2 millimeters larger. It's the size of a poker chip. So you can just use a poker chip and classic palm that poker chip. Do that for a week, and then go back to your $50, or maybe you're using a dollar coin. The other idea, same concept, but instead of increasing the size, increase the number of coins. So if you're having trouble just classic palming 1 coin, having your hand look good, try classic palming 3 coins, or maybe just 2. So carry around 2 coins all day, keeping 2 coins in classic palm. Do that for a week, and then go back to just 1 coin. You'll find you've overstretched your ability. So once you back off from that, you find you have now attained the ability or improved your ability. But there's no silver bullet or workaround. It's practicing every day, just all day. And that's a thing I tell my students I have. So again, I'll mention the lessons again. If you're interested in lessons, reach out through my website and we can set up times and stuff to do that. But one thing I always begin with, depending on the person, if you're starting out in coin magic, you want to get good, allow yourself to become obsessed with coins, obsessed with getting better. And that means carrying around the coins with you and working on it obsessively. And tell yourself that's okay. I'm going to get better. That's why I'm doing this. Because it literally takes that amount of practice, but just at first. And I can't tell you, it'll take you 3 months and then you'll be at this spot and you'll be able to do this and this and that. It's not an exact science, but coin magic is only harder in the beginning. It's a really steep learning curve where you could start doing card magic, self-working tricks immediately. And you can have this slow, steady progress to become an expert card handler. But for even some of the most simple coin tricks, it requires this huge demand, because coins are more, it's a kinetic type of magic. It's using your whole body and misdirection and your posture and your choreography, along with all the sleights, all the palms. And you're always palming something. You're always hiding something. So that's the main difference, is you have to grasp a list of these things to do coin magic. Where card magic, you could understand the key card principle and immediately start performing a bunch of tricks. But yeah, that's classic palm is you just always got to work on it. And you got to get to the point where you're sick of it and you don't want to do it, and then do it some more, and you will reach that level, not a plateau, but like you've broken through a ceiling and you're in a new level. Just keep going with it. Spike asked, how do you keep all your coin sets straight so you can grab the one you want? So I have I almost mentioned something I didn't want to mention yet. I got some stuff coming out, but an example of that is I've done this lecture for many groups, even overseas, through Zoom and stuff, but we did it with Copeland coins. We wanted to do this experience that was like the Dave videos, but as a live stream, a live lecture. So I have a live lecture on there, and it's a set of coins. It's called the Everyday Carry Lecture. And it's a set of coins where it was 3 silver coins, a copper coin, and a copper silver coin. So this set here, so copper silver, regular copper, then 3 silvers, and that would just be in your coin wallet there. Now normally, walking around, I'd have one normal coin in my right pocket, the normal copper coin on my left pocket, and then the other one's in here. And that's in my left pocket. So with this setup, I could do like a quick 1 coin routine, go to the pocket, steal this coin, transition to a spellbound routine. You could even do a copper silver transposition with just 2 coins. There's some methods for that. I could transform this coin into the coin wallet at the end of a 1 coin routine. Now all of a sudden I've got this set of coins. So we go into like a winged silver. I'm set up here to even do like a wild coin. I'm set up here to do 3 fly. I can do a better version of a copper silver transposition. This coin has to come into play. I can do my own version of wild coins, which I call Gemini. So that lecture covers, it's about 6 or 7 routines from one set of coins, and they all kind of fit together. So I try to avoid having sets unless I'm really loving like a particular trick and I want to perform that. And but even still, it's not like I have more than 2 coin wallets on me. And then within those wallets, I might have, like on one of these coins, I might add a shell just to have the shell so that I could, you know, take that coin out and do a different routine. But then I might not even use the shell for like the main stuff I'm doing. But yeah, I don't often carry just more than 2 wallets with me. And so that's easy to keep track of. John said, are you going to come out with multiple phase coin routine? Yes. Well, on my project Trilogy, which I did, you can perform all those together. So Trilogy was 3 routines with 3 normal silver dollars. And if you think about it, you can piece them all together. But I do have some more work coming out, which will fit this criteria. And I think Coin Magic needs this. There's too many just one move ideas out there, which is great, you know, but we need more fleshed out magic with coins coming out. Zero says, yeah, Martin mentions the difference between coins and cards is there's not really self-working coin magic out there. Mateo's, which are your favorite dollars for coin magic? Honestly, I have an obsession with coins. I have Morgan dollars, I have Peace dollars, I have Barber halves, I have Walking Liberty halves, I have Kennedy halves, and I bounce back and forth between the coin sets that I have. I have this weird belief that there's magic in the coins. So if I'm using a set of coins for a while and nothing's really happening, no new ideas are happening, I'll switch the coins I'm using to some coins that have been sitting a while. And sure enough, after a day or two, an idea will pop out. And it's just because I switched the coins I'm using. I don't know why, but I've come to believe that the magic itself is coming from the coins, the ideas. And it's just because I'm switching things up. Interesting things happen with your brain. So, but I'm also obsessed with coins, and I like the look of one set or the other, and I'll go back and forth. Oh, thank you. Matteo says, I watched the lecture from Italy. It was very cool. I confirm. Were you in the group? I lectured for a club there. I can't remember. I cannot remember the name of the club. Were you in that club, or did you get the Copeland lecture? So, John, I call that the Everyday Carry lecture. Right now, it's on copelandcoins.com. It's called the Dave as an acronym, Dave Live Lecture. Jim asks, how can I get notified when you're doing live streams? I think you just go to my channel and hit where you hit subscribe. There's also, you can check on or click on notifications. I've done this out of the blue, and I know that, but I might do this more often if I can kind of leverage this in a way that's, you know, a lot of people complain about tutorials being out there, and I get that, but in a live stream that's not recorded, you know, that might be a cool way to teach stuff, because you got to be here live to learn it, and then it disappears. So it's kind of a different way to teach that people wouldn't complain about, you know, exposure or whatever. Chandler asks, is there anything between $half and dollar size? I have smaller hands and the dollar's a little too big. Yeah, you can, there's half crowns, the old English coins, and I'm sure there's coins from other countries that some people use the Filipino pesos, and they're just they're larger than a $half, not as large as a dollar. I haven't gone in that direction because I think it's unusual enough that we're using old American coins. I don't want to use an old British coin. It's already, that's got two weird things going for it. I don't know. But there are options out there. Matteo said, I got the Copeland live lecture. Okay. Very good. Very interesting. Thank you. Hey, Randall. Doug Dern, I appreciate all you do for the art. Thank you, Doug. So Zero loves the live stream idea of teaching. Rob, thank you for being here. Thanks for the half crown and Filipino peso suggestion. Yeah. I'm not sure where to easily get those. If you have a coin shops near you. I live near Raleigh, North Carolina. We have some fantastic coin shops in this area where I've gotten all of my coins. And I've realized not everyone has that. But you can go on eBay and find a lot of stuff. John asks, this may sound simple. I believe this may be close to self-working, and I love the reactions. Scotch and soda. I love that. Yeah. It's a winner. I mean, it just is. Scotch and soda. Another one that's self-working, it really is self-working, is Thieves and Sheep from Modern Coin Magic. It works on mathematics basically, but a pattern that alternates so that the effect happens, if that makes sense. But look it up. It's self-working. Any tips for getting the most out of material from books? Yes. You will. I know people say they're visual learners, or they might be challenged with dyslexia, and I understand that, but there have been studies done, and you'd need to look this up, but book learning is by far the best way to learn. It's the deepest form of learning, because we're receiving the information through words, but forming pictures in our minds. And when that's happening, deep connections are being made. And when we translate that to our hands, our muscles, and it's a matter, I would say this, it's a matter of reading and rereading and rereading again and putting it away. Practicing with your hands, going back, reading it again, and you're learning on a much deeper level than watching a video. That when you're learning on a video, all you're doing is mimicking. You're learning it, but you're mirroring this person and their hands doing it. When you're reading something, there might be an illustration or a photo where you can see a snapshot. But the majority of that, you're creating the picture in your mind. And then you're translating that to your hands and your muscles. And it's just a much deeper learning. It's a slower process. But you're going to, I think, understand better. Video is great though for, I mentioned this earlier on, but the timing of things. So when you read something, you got to really try that out over and over on people to figure out the timing. But if you watched a video on that routine, you could see the timing. There's advantages to both, but I've always learned from books. I will always love books, but I've also learned from video too. But to answer your question, getting the most out of books, take it slow and be patient, and know that you will reread more than you're gonna re-watch, because you'll play back a video a few times, but you might reread a routine a dozen times before something that's not sinking in, it finally sinks in for you. Doug asked, do you prefer old coins like Liberty halves or shiny new coins? I go back and forth on that as well. Like, I have a set of 1964 Kennedys. They're nice, bright, and shiny, and that has some advantages. I mean, Kennedy was the last most recognizable president that's on a $50. So I'm getting the use of a $50 and maybe the recognizability with Kennedy on it. But I lose the cool, the patina. They're not worn down and smooth, so I can't do some routines. But I go back and forth. Right now I'm carrying Barber's. I love the Barber $50. Next week I might use the Kennedys. David says it would help to have your contribution link in the live chat. Noted. So David has been a long-time supporter. Donated to me. If you look in the description of my videos, I always put just like a PayPal link. If you feel compelled to donate money, you can. And David's done that. He's referencing that link. But because people that don't understand YouTube, they want to say magicians that are putting videos on YouTube, they're doing it for the money, and there's no money. There's very little money in YouTube until you get to millions of views. I probably get $100 maybe a month. That's $100, but that's not motivating me to make videos. So I throw a link up there if people want to donate to, because it takes time and effort to make the videos, but I do it, one, to help myself stay engaged in magic, in coin magic, in old coin magic, and I've seen that it genuinely helps people. If you look at any of my videos in the comments, just pick any video. People are grateful, they're thankful. I've gotten people back into coin magic, and it's good to see that. That's the motivation for doing the YouTube stuff. But you can find me at rickholcombe@gmail.com on PayPal. No obligation to do that, but Chandler says, I also got the Copeland version of the live lecture, and it's awesome. Also, your musical compositions on your videos are also fantastic. Thank you. If you don't know, last year I put out like 6 individual routines, like once a month. And for each of those, I made an original song, kind of for the trailer or for the background, because that's another hobby I have, is music. I've got guitars over here on this wall, but I used everything from synthesizers to guitars I use GarageBand to create those songs. So you can go on my website and just listen to on the trailers of each of those. I made an original song. I've thought to maybe copy John Guastafaro and make an album of just that music. But I've also made music for Copeland Coins on the projects. I did that for Recoil. If you look at the Recoil trailer, I made that song. I made the song for Travis Askew's Ouroboros project, and some other stuff too. So that's another hobby I have. Mika said, "Are you going to stop soon? I was going for a run, and now I've watched you and I have eaten a bucket of ice cream." Love to hear you talk about coin. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up soon. Man, it's been 2 hours. I'll have to do this some more. But yeah, I gotta wrap it up soon here. John asks, who does the best in book form to illustrate images to translate best to? I'd say Richard Kaufman. I like his drawing style, and that might be biased, but he's able to create movement and motion, in his drawings. He's also a very clear writer, and he's probably done the most coin related books that have illustration. So I'd say Richard Kaufman. The book Coin Magic, Expert Coin Magic from Roth, Gary Kurtz's book, Jay Sankey's book. I mean, he's done so many books, and he drew them. It's crazy. Chandler asks, will I post it here? I think you're talking about my PayPal link, so I will post it right here. So if you feel so inclined, you can go to that link, and really no need, but I do this because I love coin magic, and I'm glad it helps people. Chandler said, I'll buy everything you put out. Well, thank you. Plus the cost of the switcher, cameras, internet, etc. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, I mean, this has all been an investment. But I do it for my lessons as well. So this that you see here it's how I will teach lessons. If you want to reach out to me for lessons, you'll get multiple views here, clear views, and so I use the same setup for doing lessons here. So this has all been paid for long ago, but it all gets wrapped up in the cost of it all. But Randall likes colorblind, that routine colorblind. I love that routine, and it's one of the more different things I've come up with, and I love the plot of it. It's really, so if you don't know colorblind, it's like a triple spellbound, which is not a new premise, but I've given it a fresh plot and a fresh handling, and it's fairly easy to do. So that's on the website too. Colorblind. Carlos, in Europe, $50 or dollars look weird. It tells something wrong with your coins, but we don't have anything larger than €2. Yep. Well, I'd recommend, there's old English coins, silver. There's the French 5 franc or 10 franc, which is, if you've seen the guy, Matthew Hamasi, he uses Morgans, but he's French. He also uses these French coins. That's an option too. And then, can you please let us know? John asks, can you please let us know any projects coming up? I will say in January, some exciting stuff. For this year, I'd like to put some stuff I have on video, maybe consolidate some ideas and put some new stuff up. But yes, I've got a list of stuff I want to do, and then stuff that is happening. Stuff I want to do is an Okido box, like a book, and maybe grab some contributors for that. I want to make a book that's, I have the title like 21st Century Coin Magic, and it would be like not a new Bobo's, but where Bobo's was at the time kind of an encyclopedia where he picked, you know, some of his the material from some of his friends, some of his own material, and it was like a snapshot at the time of coin magic. I want to do that and call it 21st Century Coin Magic, and just have it like contributors, you know, all the people out there now. Micheletti, my own stuff, if I can get Curtis Cam to do stuff, some of Jeff Copeland's stuff that he's not shown people, but I've seen it. You know, maybe Danny Goldsmith in there. There's a ton of coin guys out there that need more recognition, I think. I'd love to make a book like that, 21st Century Coin Magic, and it could be like the next touchstone in the annals of coin magic. And then I've got maybe my biggest idea, I don't know. There needs to be a coin college, like Card College. There needs to be a set of books that people recommend Bobo's, but you should not start with Bobo's. Like, there needs to be this volume of books for coin magic that no one has done yet, and I kind of want to do that, but I'd probably need some investments, I don't know, because it'd be an insane amount of work, but it'd be worth it, I think. So yeah, that stuff coming out. Where was I there? Mihail, I think, do I perform card magic? And do I have original routines? Yes, I love card magic, and I have some of my own routines. Right now I'm working on Jack Carpenter's stuff. I have his new book, and so far it's fantastic. If you can get your hands on that book. My doggy holdout just flashed. That's right. This is Millie right here. Come on, Millie. Come on. Right here. Is she there? There she is. Mika says, yeah, Micheletti is in Finland. He uses Barber half dollars, and he's one of the best coin magicians I've seen. Personally, I like his style, the way he handles coins. So, but I'm waiting for Mika to put out his volume 2 of Utility. You should look up Utility Volume 1 and check out Mika's work. Monowar asks, what coins do I use? I use all of them. All right. I'm going to end it there, guys. It was cool hanging out. And I'll find some way to do this more frequently and with more of a purpose. But it's always great asking questions and helping people out. So I thank you for being here. If you want to check out that PayPal link, that'd be cool. No worries. If you want to check out my website, I'm a terrible marketer, but there's plenty of options on the website there. Yeah, keep an eye out. I haven't put videos up for a while. I'm just doing summer vacation with the family and stuff, but there will be stuff coming out this year and the beginning of next year. But I'll just end it there for today. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon.